Neckbeards and billionaires. This is as opposite as you can get. One is at the highest social class, greatly respected, with people looking up to them as role models. The other is looked in disdain and gets constantly clowned on. Despite being so different on the surface, if you dig a bit deeper, you will find that they are much more similar than you realize. The mom's basement, the natural habitat of the neckbeard. He does all of his activities there. He rarely goes outside. In fact, he doesn't really leave the basement. Some neckbeards don't clean their basement and their room looks like a wreck. But some really bling up their basements. The latest PCs, the most comfy chairs, the most futuristic LED lights. There may be even some anime figures if he is really feeling fancy. These basement upgrades make it easier for neckbeards to stay inside and remain reclusive. Speaking of billionaires, they are well known to be reclusive. They are known to take their privacy very seriously. Most billionaires do not want to be on the Forbes list since it invites public and government scrutiny. And even most of the billionaires there are not household names. A lot of billionaires have private security to make sure they keep away from the spotlight. Billionaires have massive homes and estates, which means they don't need to step outside into the public. A billionaire can remain on his private property for the remainder of his life and not feel cramped. And if you think things can't get even more similar, billionaires also have mega basements with the shiniest playthings. Let's face it, neckbeards don't like us normies. They are either lone wolves or they only hang out with people from their kind. When neckbeards hang out with other like-minded people, they do so in inaccessible locations where they take part in exclusive activities. This includes watching niche anime, showing off their Yu-Gi-Oh collection, or boasting about how much they donated to the ego of the week. Neckbeards don't usually leave the house, so they usually discuss these topics in private Discord servers, various Reddit groups, and the dark corners of 4chan. They certainly do not like newcomers snooping around and demeaning them if they don't follow all of the unwritten social etiquette. The same can be said about billionaires. They have their exclusive yacht and country clubs where they talk about business, their investments, and about their wives and girlfriends. These clubs are also very exclusive, so exclusive that pretty much nobody knows about them. And no, you are not welcome to join. Like the neckbeards, the billionaires have a long list of requirements that you must pass before you could even consider joining the waiting list. Let's face it, neckbeards are addicted to games. It is common to see them boast about how they have spent thousands of hours on a single game and how they have managed to complete every single side quest and to collect all the Easter eggs. They grind out certain levels to reach the perfect score in the shortest amount of time, sometimes not sleeping for days and skipping meals. This requires a huge amount of dedication, but the majority of society doesn't see it as that way and looks down on the neckbeards and calls them addicts. Billionaires are usually obsessed about their work. The vast majority do not work a 9 to 5 like most employees. Instead, They live and breathe the company, put in a huge amount of hours, willing to answer a business call in 1 a.m. in the morning, even on holidays. Billionaires are working. Elon Musk is a perfect example of this. If you read any of his biographies, you know that he works super hard, sleeps on the factory floor, and sleeps so little so that he could do the most amount of work. And yes, you can certainly give credit to that work ethic, but you can also say that this is just like the neckbeards, because billionaires are also addicted to their work. You can see the similarities in the sense that both spend thousands of hours intensively on what they do. The only real difference is that one generates money and the other doesn't. Neckbeards love to state that they are not like the normies, and they are right. The activities that neckbeards partake in are not done by the majority of the public. Most members of the public don't simp over YouTubers and donate their life savings to them. That's not normal behavior. I am sure you can think of many other things that neckbeards do that won't be considered normal behavior. The exact same thing can be said about billionaires. As I mentioned before, billionaires like to buy and collect many peculiar items, such as the oldest Bohemian book or the first handmade Bugatti. There are many things that normies don't usually buy or care about. Like neckbeards, billionaires also take part in unconventional activities. Most people don't do polo, don't cruise on super yachts, don't do Lamborghini racing, etc. And these are the stuff that I could talk about on this channel. Let's just say there are things that are not safe for the workplace. I hope you are now starting to see the similarities between neckbeards and billionaires. Sure, you can also list out all the differences between them, but there is one factor that matters most. You guessed it, money. Since billionaires have a lot of it, they're usually respected by society, and people try to emulate them in the hopes of joining their ranks. Since most neckbeards don't have that kind of money, they are swept to the sidelines, ignored, and looked down upon. All I can say is that money makes the world spin.